Yes. Welcome to Cyber Safety Net Stay Safe Online, episode 172. Hackers target 23andMe and you. This happened this week. My name is Anthony Germanos, and I'll be the presenter. And this video is shorter than the average. Today's presentation is sponsored by my fourth book, How Hacks Happen. In How Hacks Happen, there are two personas. There's me, Mark, the good guy, who wants to protect you, because I'm the good guy. And there's Brad Cracker, the bad guy who wants to rip you off. Brad says, "Hey man, I'm good at hacking. Hacking is easy. I like the easy money." And that is Brad Cracker's view of the world and what he does for a living. Let's talk about the 23andMe hack, which happened, or rather was disclosed this week. It targeted a demographic of users of 23andMe. And these users are of Ashkenazi Jewish ancestry. And the content that the hackers got was pretty widespread. This is PII, or Personally Identifiable Information. And what the hackers were able to harvest includes names, profile photos, genetic ancestry results, birthdays, and geographical location. Then the hackers decided to sell these records. They were selling them for $10 each. Yes, there was a bulk discount. So people who were buying were able to get a bulk discount with the price going all the way down to $1 per record. The hacker's vector was credential stuffing. I'm going to pause 10 seconds and let you think, what exactly is credential stuffing? Credential stuffing is using a username and password from one site at other sites. When I was researching this, I learned that dictionary.com did not have a record for credential stuffing. Wikipedia did. And from Wikipedia, I pulled this content. Credential stuffing is a type of cyber attack in which the attacker collects stolen account credentials, typically consisting of lists of usernames or email addresses and the corresponding passwords, often from a data breach, and then uses the credentials to gain unauthorized access to user accounts on other systems. What happened is people had usernames and passwords at somewhere like Amazon or TJX, then use those same usernames and passwords elsewhere, including 23andMe. And that is how the credential stuffing attack at 23andMe was successful. Now let's ask, are you in the camp that is an easy victim of credential stuffing or not? Because sometimes we fall into bad habits. If you are in the camp to be an easy target of credential stuffing, then it's probably because you're using the same username and password over and over and over. And for most of us, and most websites, the username would be an email address. Use that same password over and over. If that one site gets hacked and somebody gets your password, they can use that same password elsewhere. The opposite camp would be the no camp, where you are not a valuable or probable target of credential stuffing because you're using different passwords. But Mark, you say, I have accounts at 200 websites. You want me to remember 200 passwords? No, I don't. But instead, I want you to get a password manager. The one I use is called LastPass. It ain't the only one out there. And for these password managers, it's pretty much 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. With LastPass, you can log into a website and LastPass will save your password. Then the next time you log in, LastPass will fill in your password. You don't have to remember it, LastPass does. Then you can go to another site and do the same thing and let LastPass save your password and do it over and over and over. The benefit here is the chances of you using the same password over and over are pretty slim because LastPass will let you save passwords. And when you want to change passwords, LastPass will let you change passwords, then save the new password. So you don't have to save passwords. Therefore, there's no temptation to use the same password over and over. Just let LastPass or whatever password manager you use save the passwords for you. Life is too short to try to remember hundreds of passwords. Let LastPass or a password manager of your choosing save passwords for you. Let's go one step further. You can use multi-factor authentication, which is an additional step to securing your accounts. With multi-factor authentication, you log into a website with something you know, something you have, something you are. For example, with Twitter, I can log in with the password, which we were looking at on the last screen, and then Twitter sends me a text with a 6-digit PIN, and I type in that 6-digit PIN to get into Twitter. I have a short video on YouTube, Is MFA Worth the Hassle? I'm going to link to it at the end of this video on YouTube. You know what? I am done. I know your time is valuable. I know there are other places you could have been, but you chose to be here. You chose to listen to me, Mark Anthony Germanos, tell you that you cannot use the same password over and over, because when somebody gets hold of your password at one site, they can use credential stuffing to log in as you at other sites. Thank you, everybody. Have a good day.